It is the age of progress, an era of construction, a time of urgency, the hour of haste. Everything is on the run. The continuum of time and space appears to be whirling past us at a dizzying speed. Man is a machine, a cog in the machine. He plies in a hurry. He is impetuous. There are endless distances in front of him, and he has only a limited time at disposal. That is why he keeps running all the time. Man knows he has to reach some place at the double, but hasn't the foggiest notion what that place is. Perhaps man is in a hurry to give shape to his life. He has to finalize it in quick time, and does so hurriedly in a slipdash manner. He makes a mess of it as he goes along, and in the end, life slips out of his hand. It is like inadvertently letting a bird fly away you were supposed to be holding. It is like getting completely flabbergasted. Man is impatient by nature. He cannot tolerate slow pace. He dislikes moderation. He wants to finish everything he has to do within the space of a single day. He receives his pay after a long wait of 30 days and spends it down to the last penny in one day. And then the same wait begins all over again. The wait for some extra income apart from one's pay. The wait for what you rightfully earn and what you receive illegally. Man runs on as if his innards were on fire. But when one is threatened from within, how can outward speed store off disaster? Probably speediness is another name for progress. Speediness has reduced distances, drawing men closer to each other. It is a different matter altogether that in the process, man is getting alienated from himself. Things crowd upon each other. No, this speedy journeying, these airplanes, this England, this America, this Africa, this Pakistan, and this life itself. And look, there lies the graveyard. In these stages of speediness, there are no stopovers, no resting places, no camping ground. Distances between the earth and the sky are being negotiated. Journeys which took years to complete are now over in few minutes. It seems as the sun and moon, the stars and the planets have all alighted on the earth, or the earth itself has risen to the heavens above. Science has enabled man to gain mastery over speed, but it is a speed without latitude or direction. The ways of today do not lead one to the lane of the beloved. The man of today wishes to escape from himself. A man who is puffed up with vanity has no idea how poor he is. The unending space does not draw his attention to its marker. Man labors in a hurry, rather like him who was weaving a rope of grass, and his donkey, which stood close by, was slyly munching away the rope he had already woven. After years of hard work, he possessed nothing but the bit of rope he held in his hand. The rest of it, the donkey had made a meal of. Man continues to toil, and the result of his labor keeps on vanishing. What does it all add up to? Only to life lived moment by moment. The rest of it vanishes in the man of a boundless past. The man without feeling is undertaking a journey for the sake of information. Who knows how the journey will come to an end? Man, by nature, loves rapidity, which rhymes with stupidity. Man has discovered energy by splitting the nuclear particles, but has not been able to find him who created the nuclear energy. Man has discovered the highways of the skies, but has not found the path which leads to his own heart. The outer cosmos has made him oblivious of his inner cosmos. There are velocities in the outer universe, rotations and accelerations. All things move with speed across the expanses of time and space. It is momentum which automatically imparts dynamism to man. He makes a dash for the stars, chases shadows and runs after mirages. He wants to lay bare inscrutable mysteries. What he fails to realize is that he himself is the key to the mysteries. He himself, the masterpiece of creation. He himself, a lovely pageant reflecting imperishable grace. He must first of all uncover his own secret. Only then would he be able to discover the mystery of the universe. His outer journey is rapid enough, but the journey within calls for no hastiness. His inner cosmos, his subjective world, is more vast, more lovely, more interesting and attractive than every outer, external, objective universe. This moving about at high speed has turned man away from his real journey. Man has changed himself into a robot. He wanders from country to country. He moves from city to city, from borough to borough, probing and prodding about constantly, either yearning for peace or seeking worldly riches. He does not know the way to the land of the heart's contentment, where lies hidden treasures rich in tranquility. The speed lover can never know what joy it is to rest in the shade of the wall of the beloved's dwelling. Today's man, in spite of the facilities and velocities available to him, has not been able to attain the status which the illustrious among our forefathers has enjoyed. The foundation of the code of life was laid by the great men of the past. Today's edifice stands on that very foundation. But modern man wishes to complete the edifice in a hurry, and the completion of a civilization, in fact, portends its end. What ripens must rot. Hastiness has already caused a great deal of mischief. The tragedies of Hiroshima and Nagasaki are clear manifestations of our hastiness. Speedy airplanes and vehicles have already played such a havoc with human life which has no parallels. The modern man, in his rashness, is making the world to hasten towards a new path. His haste has made the man of the present era the victim of a bizarre fear. The fear itself is not something imaginary, born of man's fancy. It is becoming real and can be seen rearing up on life's horizon. It is the fear of a third world war. It would be an interplanetary war, and the only way to describe the war is that no war would ever take place after it, with human beings wiped out from the face of Earth who will fight the next war, and to what end and against whom. Rapid evolution has apparently brought men closer to each other, but in fact it has done no more than to line up a lot of menaces together. The fact that backwardness is still firmly entrenched in today's civilized and cultured, developed and developing world constitutes a significant message for mankind. Consider the man as an individual. If some part of his anatomy becomes disproportionately large, his whole being would be threatened with extinction. Similarly, when a nation or society massively transgresses its limits, its infringement spells disaster for men everywhere. If there has been an upsurge in speed, the distances also have grown comparably enormous. They now consist of billions of light years. The outcome will once again be similar. Man, having reached the stage of helplessness, will find that exhaustion besetting as it is. Even the galaxy in which we live is beyond man's reach, and millions of galaxies still remain to be explored. No matter how many satellites we succeed in launching, the endless distances will not be overcome. And what is man's life? Merely the aggregate of a few circumscribed days. Progress is like a ship, secure against the fury of waves as it sails across the ocean. The ship does proceed at a clipping pace, but unfortunately it has no destination in view. How can a man feel proud of his swift progress if he is moving towards nameless and untraceable destination? What about the distance which separates a house from a graveyard? How much speed is required to cover this distance? It is a journey which lasts for nearly 50 years. Speed is of little consequence here. Even now, each day consists of no more than 24 hours, and the year has only 12 months. The seasons change according to their ancient rhythm. Childhood days follow a different tempo. The days of youth go by at a different pace, and finally, there is old age. It doesn't matter how fast he moves. There is no escape for man. Even if he were to hide himself beneath the sea, or on some other planets, he shall still have to return the debt he owes to life. The thread of life is severed. En route, man is encircled by helplessness, restrictions, and sluggishness. His speed is making short work of him. The rapidity with which he discovers curses for various diseases is matched only by the suddenness with which new maladies materialize. The traveler in a hurry is in a terrible fix. The fleet-footed prey's plight beggars description. In front of him lie distances which cannot be covered, and behind him is his deadly enemy. The hunter, swift like the wind, keeping account of days which remain before he can pounce on his victim. Man keeps running, but for how long would he be able to do so? In the end, the inevitable takes place, and the traveler of unknown and uncharted distances falls quietly asleep in the arms of death. What has man gained from progress, or his progress-mongering, or evolution? All praise to man's speediness. The votaries of haste should be applauded. The speed has transgressed all limits, and man is beside himself with vanity. Fast living, which results in faster circulation of blood, ultimately takes its toll. Man passes the test set. For him, by evolution, alas, heart fails in the process. Today's society, with its sizzling pace, is the graveyard of human values. Modern man possesses no qualities which can be termed human. The man who has been able to break the laws of nature is in fact busy playing havoc with himself, and seems to be in a terrible hurry as he does so. Even now we have got the chance to align our speed with the movements of time. Unseasonal fruits and untimely yields shall ultimately prove harmful to man. The attempts to grow crops quickly are draining the land of its vitality, and the grains and fruit obtained in this way are not only tasteless, but can also turn out to be deleterious. Only that speed is best which does not leave you short of breath.